up to game one. Just does anything change now that you've gotten that out of the way going into your next start?
I mean, yeah, I think a lot less nerves for sure. But I think at this point, just trying to go out there and win a ball game at this point. I don't really care how I do it. Don't really care how we do it. Just to go out there and win is kind of the whole point of this year.
Questions? Here along the aisle.
Did you learn anything about yourself in that first start that maybe surprised you, or something you can carry forward to tomorrow?
I feel like just after a rocky first inning, I mean, I feel like earlier on in this year, kind of would have let that get to me. But I feel like in the last outing, I was able to get through the rocky first inning and kind of settle down and settle in. I feel like being able to do that in a postseason is extremely important because there's a lot of good hitters on every single team you're going to face, and they're going to wear you down. So being able to settle down after that, I feel like is pretty important.
Questions? Mandy in front.
Obviously going through your rookie year last year, knowing everything that comes with that, now to see Cade do everything he did this year, but now it's also translating into the postseason. Just how impressive is that for maybe people who wouldn't understand from afar, for a rookie to be able to handle his emotions as well as he has?
I mean, Cade's kind of a robot, but I mean, it kind of comes natural to him. But I think, what he's done, I think, is a lot more impressive than what I did last year, just because on a contending team, he's been in every single role possible, and he's succeeded in every single role. I mean, he's punched out over 100 people as a reliever. I mean, I don't know how many people have done that, probably not a lot. And it's super impressive. I mean, I feel like if you saw him in Lake County and Akron and Columbus, you'd have no doubt. Like, once he ironed some things out, there was no doubt he was going to come up here and make an impact.
Questions?
How important is it to, with your pitch mix or whatever, just giving a team like this something else to think about since they've seen you so much?
I think in the major leagues, I mean, through my 2 years, I think it's super important to have, obviously, they know your mix. Everyone knows your mix. It's just figuring out how to use it, when to use it, what person. I mean, it varies from game to game. I mean, tomorrow's going to be the 6th time I face these guys this year. So, I mean, I'm not the same pitcher I was in start 1. I'm not the same pitcher I was in start 3 against these guys. So I feel like it's just Cobb was telling me there was 27 years he's been in the big leagues that he's not the same pitcher he was when he started to where he is now. And even in between that, he's evolved.
Questions? Paul?
Tanner, was there a moment in game one where you just kind of took a deep breath and said, this is just another ball game, or did that feeling ever leave you?
I think, no. These games are pretty important, but one thing I tried to do was when I walked in from the bullpen was to try to walk as slow as possible. I was told that just to, 1, take everything in, 2, not to speed myself up. And I feel like taking everything in and kind of just walking as slow as I can, I feel like kind of slowed the day down a little bit for me. I feel like I have a tendency to, when things get going bad, like earlier on in the year, it was when I got really sped up, got upset, got emotional, whatever. So I feel like that was a good way to make it as slow as possible and kind of like a important game, just another game.
Joe, you're on the aisle.
We saw Tarek Skubal come off the mound a couple of times in game 2, emotional, firing the crowd up and all that. Actually, a little bit of back and forth, give and take with the Progressive Field crowd. What about playing here? Are you looking forward to the challenge of the environment and, just the Detroit fans versus the Cleveland fans and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in the postseason, no matter where you go, especially with these teams left, it's going to be a really awesome atmosphere wherever you go. And I mean, the fans here want to see their team win, and our job is to win in a hostile environment. So I mean, I think I'm just going to do whatever I can to win. I mean, see what Cobb does today and see how I can feed off that and how to respond to that.
Here along the aisle.
Tanner, when we talked to you post-game after Game 1, you shared with us that you spent some time with your mental coach trying to get ready for the game. How much do you do analyzing a start after the fact with that coach? And if you did, what would you be willing to share about your game one performance?
Yeah, so pretty much what I do is I look at purely execution. I feel like if I give up a home run on an executed pitch, like that's a good thing. I did what I was trying to do. And obviously sometimes it's going to happen, and sometimes guys are going to take balls right down the middle, but that's not executed. But I mean, I think I go through every single pitch, whether executed or not. Yes, no, go through the whole game. And one thing I want to be able to be good at is 0-0 strikes and 1-1 counts, being able to get ahead, put them away. It's pretty much the goal, and just whether executed.